Hello everyone, this is Cookies. I've got turn 29, and let's go ahead and dive into it. We got a message from Agartha. I've ended my nap with Shenu. This is going to force Shenu out of the war with Pythium and probably save Pythium. In retrospect, I should have done it last turn, but I expected to have one more turn to take land from Oceania. Why not take land from Oceania? I really hope this isn't falling on the sort of game state for a first war. Although it's kind of like their third war because they keep backing out of them. Let's see though. I was not properly positioned to vulture them. That doesn't matter. Yes, is going to get basically all of it. Well, you haven't even like asserted yourself yet. And that's a long-term problem. Well, fight them over it. I think what's happening in this water column is more important than anything you could be doing with Shenu. Still, overall, I think I should scale better than Yes with time, as long as I can keep expanding, and it will take Yes several more turns to get Oceania's forts. Shenu is the obvious and I think correct choice for my next war. I lost an army to Pyrene before Pyrene convinced them to have a go at Pythium instead. And Pythium is willing to bribe me to declare war, but most importantly, I want what they have and I believe I can take it. I want their throne, and I want the same gems they should have been searching for. Make 13 earth gems a turn now, but that's still only enough to support 6 statues and an occasional item. I very much want more death and water, both of which I have a pathetic 3 income. I'm doing my best to trade and or extort in as many other water gems as possible, but I need my own supply. Besides that, of course, there is also the geography. They are my most direct neighbor. 3 of my 4 armies and capital are nearby, and I can reach their throne in 1 move from my border. Their capital in 2. I may well lose in skirmishing on minor fronts, particularly the southwest, while I concentrate on the throne fort. Hopefully I can take enough land myself that those minor losses aren't too relevant. I may even get time to take them back before someone jumps into Vulture. I think he should try to get as much as he can from Oceania, but maybe the idea is rather than stabbing Oceania, giving Oceania the space to fight back as much as possible, but Oceania seems pretty cooked to me. They've lost a lot of mages. I don't know. Yes, it's going to be so aggressive too, but maybe they'll opt for the finishing the Machaca War before they redeclare on Agartha. We'll see. Alright, then we got a message from Yes. Happy 20th turn of Machaca's Hell War with an underwater power. I'm still trying to wrap my head around what the heck his logic was for starting that, let alone continuing, but here we are. I've signed longer-term peace deals with both Agartha and Utgard, which should both give them the freedom to look elsewhere and give me the window to finish this 2v1. And fix my infrastructure, which is a goddamn mess. But what can you do? Annoying to lose my quickness hero to a vulture bump. Yeah, that... yeah. Going for a cave province on the Agartha border was definitely a choice. At least I think it was a cave province. It might have been a mountain. Yeah, but also hilarious that Oceania ended nap with me without securing one of his other underwater capable neighbors. Tomorrow line from Bill Paxton's character in Edge of Tomorrow. What the hell were you thinking? Alright. Let's start with that region. So we've got Deep Gorge. Gartha finishing up his cave exploits. These should be the Sinos. Not a big roll for Sinos. He might get a mage sniped. There's still some archers shooting. Alright, seems like it went well. Loses 2 ancient ones. That hurts a little bit. Then we've got green C. A little bit of a raid, killing some PD. Alright, and then Machaka's still fighting. Alright, so we got the... He moved into the swamp, though, rather than cracking the palisade. He's being extremely cautious. He should know that Yis is also fighting Oceania, and that's by far the more existential threat. Alright, and then in Devil's Pond. Another thug, killing PD. Yeah, Yis just snapping up land. Alright. And I suppose we can... Oh, maybe we take a look. Do we get any decent fights? A little bit of PD. Silent Cavern. And these are pretty decently scripted raids from both Pythium and Pyrene. Alright, Shinu should just be killing PD, I would think. Oh no, we got a whole defense here. Alright, so we got a communion set up. Only 2 communicants, so he is setting up a couple of extra slaves. Maybe to do Enslave Mind. A little bit of Body Ethereal. This lady's doing Iron Will on the Centipede. Or at least probably hoping it goes on the Centipede. 47 HP. Might target these ogres instead. And then, yeah, we got that guy. Alright, let's see how it goes. Looks like it did go on the Centipede. Here we go. Oh, alright, so we're doing Soul Slay spam rather than Enslave Bind. Light on the Northern Star and Howl. These are both from the Pythium side. Centipede with Moss Body heroically trying to hold off these Serpent Cataphracts, and it is applying that Fear Aura. Moss Body gets popped. Alright, Centipede finally goes down. Still a lot of dieback mono in the area, though. Alright, kill the mage down here. Now trying to turn the flank. Now, Daibakimono, not known for their exceptionally high MR, relative to like how strong they are and how much they cost. So it was a weak point. Ooh, it looks like we get a route. Let's see what happened to their leadership. This guy retreats. I guess this guy's gonna route now. The Bakemono Sork left. Did not get Soul Slayed. That would be bad. But it does have 16 MR. A little bit more protected. Alright. I don't expect a ton of these Daibakimono to die on the retreat. They should be able to clear out the wolves on their way. And the Sork gets away. That's the other important piece. They're near 600 gold. Alright, so let's see how it went. 36 more die box go down. Loses the... It is a centipede thing, right? Yeah, centipede. And then loses a lot of the small goblins. 2 Theurgic Acolytes go down. And then 2 Communicants. So it looks like he does end up burning out the Communion. Small price to pay for how much he killed. These are 25 gold each. Communicants are worth 2 diebacks. And then the Acolytes are each worth 4. So we're looking at 8, like 12 diebacks. Like 13 diebacks is pretty much what he lost compared to this. Now, these are a little bit harder to mass than Daibakimono, but pretty good on the gold exchange there for Pythium. Then in Momefi, got another large Shenu army. This one, however, doesn't run into serious resistance. And then we've got Bogatin. Pythium does, or Pyrene does put out a counter raid with a Count and a few Emerald Knights. But this is Bone Tribe and Emerald Guard, so we'll see how he holds up here. Are they on attack rear? It looks like they might have been scripted for that, but they didn't end up passing the checks needed. It looks like the Emerald Guard might carry this. Oh, cleans up the Bone Tribe. So we're going to have a few knights coming up to fight these Emerald Guard. Oh, never mind, it's a general route. So it looks like Pythium's going to take this one. Close fight, though. Let's see. So this guy, how did he do? He's up to 46 melee kills. Let's see what he was at the beginning of this. What a trooper. Down to 1 HP. It's a shame that he's going to go down and take his heroic lance with him. Let's see. So he was at 40. So he got 6 more melee kills in this battle off of 1 HP. And then, let's see, so that was Bogatin. Next one up is Scatly Swamps. We have a little bit of imps. All right. And then range of adventure. Got some Sinos, some more Legionnaires, killing one PD. Then Old Gold, Shenu attacking Pythium. Alright, one gelatinous cube does indeed go down. And then in Ard, this is our final battle. Few Hawks, they shouldn't succeed. Yeah. We have an indie attack on Shenu, another indie attack on Shenu, kills 20 Bakemono Shell, and routes them. So, and this one also won. So I think that's 3 indie attacks in 2 turns. Relentless independent attacks on Shenu. Alright, let's see how it's looking. So this was the night attack against Shenu. Gartha clearing up the cave. That was against the Sinos. Yes, trying to siege these down. I think he needs to try and find a way to stop recruitment in Oceania, which means pulling together enough of an army to be able to beat whatever's in the capital and trying to put that under siege. Yeah, okay, so this was a Highlands, but yeah, it's I know it's I know it's a bit of a vulture, but this is kind of like the border that was between Oceania and Agartha. And typically if you go and kill someone, like whoever is the other border, they're going to want this full border. Or at least that's been my experience. So not surprised at the bump there. All right. And then, yeah, these Trogs still putting this fort under siege. So just the cap now. Which puts a lot of pressure on Oceania to patrol every turn, which can be pretty bad for research. All right. Then we got the hurlers are here, so he's trying to put Naba down. Iron Throne. So yeah, I mean, Jotunheim might be able to start thinking about taking these Draco Lions and Bloodhenge Druids. We'll see when he gets around to that. And then Machaca doing everything except move on to Cliff Coast. I mean, there's a lot of ES troops here. To me, it seems like it would be a lot easier, even in the short term, to just let these forts go. And then go north, finish your war with Oceania, kill Oceania, take all of his forts, rally a bunch of troops, and then come retake everything from Machaca. That just seems a lot easier to me. All right. And as long as this throne is independent, you wouldn't really have more of a border with Machaca. What's here? Woodhead Shred. Ooh, sorcerer. Yeah, I think I remember there were sorceresses here. 3, 4, 5. A lot of gems on this coastline. Ooh-wee. Alright. And then over here, we got Pythium. Pythium's put together a huge army here. I think this stack needs to back up. This army's way too big for them now. So I think you start pulling back to the capital slowly. And maybe you try to free this farmland in the meantime. And then on the flip side, we got some pretty devastating independent attacks on Shenu. Right as Agartha's thinking about attacking. And surely this is going to cause Shenu to have to peace out. Where was the... It was like Garillion? Ah, yeah, it was over here trying to move on this fort. I wonder if this would have been enough to try and swing that fight. Maybe if the Daibakemono were on attack at some point, or they got in there and used their swords, because it seemed like all the little goblins took all the damage and maybe potentially HP routed that army. Howl definitely makes just standing and shooting a little bit more dangerous. Alright, but we'll see if we'll see if Shinu ends up pushing this, or maybe they peace out just for the full border. And then they fight Agartha. We'll see what Pythium ends up doing with them too. Alright. And I think that's it for this one. I can go through the graphs really quick again. Agartha in first. Shinu in first on forts and income. Agartha for provinces. Shinu also first for gym income. Pythium first on tech. Dominion is Pythium. Army size is Pythium, even over Shinu. Big increases in army size. For the mercs, we've got Ferris working for Shinu. Dagon working for Machaka. Pythium just hired God's Justice, which is 75 Pioneers. That could be why his army graph shot up so much. And then Yes still has the swimming men. Alright, and I think that's it for this one. And I will go ahead and see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.